Good evening, everyone. I see you all are coming in. I see some of you all in the chat. I want to thank you all for coming to OLM's first online virtual watch party for Uncorked. I'm Angela Green, Executive Director of On Location Memphis and the Memphis Music Bank, and I just want to welcome you all for coming. I do see some attendees coming in. If you can, do me a favor, go ahead and put in the chat where you're logging in from, what city. With this being our first time being on virtually, we actually have an opportunity to share this time with some of our friends and families in other cities and in other states. So if you can just let us know where you're coming in, feel free to do that right now. For those of you all who don't know, Uncorked was filmed, part of it was filmed in Memphis, Tennessee last year. And so there are many individuals, actors, producers, casting agents, and different individuals who are part of this project here in Memphis. And with so many people being tied to the project, there was no way that we could allow this film to premiere and allow COVID-19 to keep us from having some sort of celebration of this accomplishment in our city and for the film and music community. And so that's why we're here. And I want to first introduce to you the host for this evening. She is the creative liaison for the Memphis Music Bank, and that is Miss Christy Taylor. Christy, why don't you come on in?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. And then also we have with us Mr. Princeton James, one of the actors. Come on in, Princeton.
I think I got it. Okay.
Hey, yeah, everybody. You got it. Hello,
everyone.
Hey, y'all.
Go ahead, take it away, Miss Christy. I'm gonna hand the floor over to you.
All right. Well, first again, welcome everyone. As Angela has already stated, we appreciate you all. I see they're checking in from Baltimore, of course, the M-Town represented.
I see Westfield, Indiana.
All right,
Westfield, Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C., my birth city. Also, Lynn Sidler, the Memphis and Shelby County Film Commission.
Lynn, yes,
hello.
As she say, from downtown Memphis.
Right.
Hey, Lynn, how you doing, Lynn?
Checking in on this evening. Of course, I am here to do a little housekeeping before we get started. As you already know, you're in the chat, so feel free throughout the screening to just make your comments, you know, like we'd like to talk to the TV screen in the movie. Y'all can just go ahead and talk amongst yourselves as the movie is going on. And we're also going to give you an opportunity at the very end of the screening, so please stay around for the entire screening to actually have a conversation with Princeton, also our other VIPs, like as we did say, Lynn Sidler is here. We're going to be having other amazing people from the Film Commission, Gail Jones-Carson, who's already in the house. Just go ahead and say hi to the people, Gail, as well as Marco Pave.
Yeah, Gail.
Come on now, Marco, he's from Memphis. He has 2 songs in the project. One thing I really love about the movie, I purposely have tried not to watch it on Netflix. I wanted to see it with everybody tonight. Of course, you know, I did kind of get a sneak peek, but it's how much of Memphis is on display and how the music of Memphis is on display. So I'm grateful for that. So come on, Memphis and Paris, come on. I love that. I love that.
Exactly.
So at this time, we're going to let our dear, the star of the hour, who is the main host, I'm more moderating, co-hosting with him, is Princeton James. All right, Princeton, take it away.
Thank y'all so much. I want to first say thank you so much to the Memphis Music Bank, to Angela, to Christy for allowing this platform and asking me to do this. I'm sincerely grateful for that. I thank for everybody that's out there, for everybody that may have watched it before and just decided to join in. If this is your first time watching it, this is an amazing movie. It was written and produced by Prentice Penny. He's an incredible talent. He's also a showrunner for HBO's Insecure with Issa Rae. And this story just tells a great story about a Memphis family that has a barbecue restaurant, and it's basically about battle and trajectory, and then like following your own path in your dreams. So I hope you guys enjoy. My name is Princeton James. I'll be playing the character of Newton. I'll be playing the main character's brother-in-law. So my father-in-law is Courtney B. Vance, and my mother-in-law is Niecy Nash in film, and I'm so grateful. Feel so blessed, and I reside here in Memphis, Tennessee, proudly, and I'm a proud native of Coldwater, Mississippi. That's so right. Thank y'all. Yeah. So thank y'all so much. And without further ado, I want to introduce the Netflix film, Uncorked.
Fabulous movie. I loved it. I'm so glad I didn't watch it prior to this.
No, I wanted to make sure I watched it with everybody.
Yes,
So happy y'all.
They're giving you a digital round of applause, Princeton.
Oh, yes. You did a marvelous job, Princeton.
Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. I promise I do. Thank you for watching it, and it was an honor to be able to be a part of this.
Indeed, indeed. Now, I know we have our VIPs in here as well. Lynn Sittler, Gail Jones-Carson. Are they going to also join us at this time, Angela? To just kind of speak briefly before we get into the full Q&A?
Angela, thank you. Microphone.
Yeah, if you are still in the digital webinar, if you can just raise your hand so we can bring you in at this time.
Hey, Sherry Neely. What's up, Sherry? Yeah.
Sherry Neely, yes. Okay.
Well, we got Marco Pave has his hand raised. So let me
okay, well, welcome, Marco. He had 2 songs in here. We're going to talk about music placement as well.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, go ahead, Marco, go ahead and unmute yourself.
And also put the video on.
What's up, Marco?
What up?
Oh,
Congratulations,
wow.
man.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to you too, man. That music was bumping, bro.
Man,
music was killing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Well, let's get to it. So let's talk about, okay, well, Princeton, once again, just kind of set up.
It broke up just a little bit. Could you repeat that? I'm sorry. Christy, can y'all hear me?
Breaking up. I'm bringing a few more people in to the panel. We got Jason Farmer, who was one of the producers, who's coming on in. Go ahead and unmute
Unmute yourself and add your video.
And add your video.
Black Lens Production was one of our local production companies that assisted with this fabulous.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hello,
Jason,
man,
how are you?
fantastic job. Man, everything's great. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
Excellent.
Thank
I'm
you.
getting my video on.
Yeah, it's it should be right beside the microphone. But Christy, I'm so sorry. You asked a question and I didn't get the whole
so
thing.
what I wanted to do is to first off, Princeton, give everybody a round of applause again. Everybody, thank you all we have had a good 30 strong attending tonight. So salute to everyone all around the country. Yay! And we have an opportunity. And once again, thank you.
You can go ahead and mute yourself if you're not speaking. That may help with some of the background.
Mute your mics for now. Angela, thank you so very much as well for hosting this and allowing Princeton to make this a truly a virtual watch party. So I wanted to start off with, first of all, Princeton, since you are the formal host of tonight's watch party, to talk about how you landed the role and, once again, and then Marco, we're going to go to you and talk about how you had a chance to get music placed in this Netflix film. All right, so Princeton, it's on you.
Unmute yourself.
All right, got it. Thank y'all.
Okay.
Thank you so much, y'all. So so how I landed the role. So first of all, I was hired from a friend to be in the locations department. So I was a locations PA. I was super happy, super excited to be working in locations. So I was doing my job, scouting locations and help. I was just basically doing what they told me to do. And then I heard
in my house too.
I came to your house.
Yeah.
Bro, I knew you looked familiar when I saw you. That's where I knew you from then. I couldn't even, bro, that's a whole nother conversation. We need to have a conversation about this. So I was scouting locations. I remember that now, vividly as day. I was scouting locations, and then I heard about some auditions they were having for speaking roles. So they were having them at Hattie Lou Theater, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna stop by. But like, I have a production company. We've been doing a lot of theater and producing. So I was like, my chops are not up. So I was like, and chops, if any actors out there, that means like you haven't done your exercises, you feel as though your acting skills are kind of like, not where you want them to be, whatever. So I called the locations manager and I was like, listen, I'm gonna audition for this part because I really would love to be a part of this project. However, my chops are not up. I want to make sure I don't jeopardize my opportunity for being a locations PA. And she's like, no. I knew you wanted to be an actor first, so go ahead and audition. So I auditioned and I was like, he gave me one take at the role, and I just said, I think it was like 2 lines. It was like, yeah, I know. I think that was the line I auditioned with. Like after we said, yeah, I know. So I said, yeah, I know. And then they said, okay, that was refreshing. Thank you, bye. And I was like, wait, I can't do it again? Like, you want another try at it? And they was like, no, that's it. Then they asked me to read for something else, and then I came in and read for that. And then they had 3 of us in there at a time, and then I was directing Brown Baptist Christmas play at that time. And then, so they called me and I missed the call of the casting director while we were there. And actually Alicia Esther was in the Brown Baptist play and she got her call before me. And then she was like, Princeton, check your voicemail. And I checked mine and they had called me. And then that's how it came about. But it was on I found out like on a Wednesday. I had to show Niecy Nash around. They had assigned me to show her around on a Thursday. And then they had assigned me to show Courtney B. Vance around on a Saturday. But then I was supposed to first start shooting on a Saturday. So I was like, I met Courtney B. Vance in the production office and I couldn't show him around because my first day was shooting. So that's how the role came about. And I was just like super excited. I was like, I don't know who knew Nia's, but I'm gonna do my best to play him because listen, I'm excited to be here. So yeah, that's how it came about. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. And you played him with such a nice little even keel. I love the casting. Everything was fantastic. I mean, on so many different levels when it comes to a film production, and the casting was very well done. Your wife was on edge, but you were her rock, and you played a really great brother-in-law, father, father, son-in-law, situation that was beautiful. Very beautiful.
Thank you. She was great. Her name is Kelly.
Okay, we just lost you, Prince.
Her name is Kelly Jeanette.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm back. You see me back now?
Yes,
okay, so I'm sorry. Somebody tried to FaceTime me on my iPad, but her name is Kelly Jeanette, and she's an incredible actress. She's an Emmy-nominated artist, and she's
was trying to remember her. What else has she played on? Because I was looking at her. I was like,
yeah, she was in. Oh my gosh, she's been in a lot of stuff. Like, I think the last thing I saw her. Well, where she got her Emmy nomination, I guess that'll be substantial to go see. Is she was in Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, so she was in that. That's where she got her Emmy nomination. But she's been in
a ton of work. Yeah,
she's been in a ton of work, and she's incredible. Like she's incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Princeton. Marco.
Thank you, Marco.
All right, so Princeton, you can put yourself on mute because I know you got a million things you got going on. Okay, so Marco, tell us about your experience. First of all, where are you in the world? Let's start there.
Right now, I'm in D.C., Washington, D.C.
Okay, so let's talk about your journey to this Netflix movie, Uncorked.
Yeah.
Well, Marco, real quick, before you get to that, some people may not know you as far as your relationship to Memphis and the music scene and your journey. So just kind of give a quick backstory and then we'll get to the film.
So my name is Marco Pave. I'm a hip hop artist, cultural builder, influencer, however you want to frame it, from Memphis, Tennessee, specifically North Memphis.
Memphis?
Yeah. So I've been doing my thing in Memphis for, I would say, it's funny, like, I would say about 15 years now on just a reality check tip. But just like, as far as like pursuing it as a full-time thing, I would say like the last 8 years I've been fully in it, doing it, doing shows, touring, anything you can name, releasing music. I've been on that. Had my hand in a ton of things to help, build the Memphis music business, music community. Done a TED Talk. I did a TED Talk in 2015 about arts entrepreneurship and really just thinking about how we can put more emphasis on supporting the arts. And that really helped me do a whole lot after that. And so, just had a movie really came about. I saw that they were shooting in the city. And actually, me and Princess Penny was following each other on Instagram. So he hit me up, was like, "Yo, we looking for music. I'm gonna connect you with my music supervisor." And it happened like that. I mean, it happened like that, but also it didn't, because this was like 2018 when they reached out. So it just takes a incredibly long time for the stuff to really happen, and people don't really see that part. So yeah, this is like almost a 1.5, 2 year conversation that's been happening. And so yeah, the music supervisor reached out. I sent them a ton of music, and they were just like super, super excited about it. And yeah, we kind of went from there. And then I went to LA in October for the Revolt Summit. And then I end up I just set up a meeting to meet the supervisor in person, because I just like to meet people in person if I'm, gonna be in a city. And so they kind of helped my case a little bit on getting into the movie. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I showed my face if I was gonna be in LA. And so that's pretty much how it happened.
Okay, so tell us what scenes your particular tracks were in.
Yeah, so the scene, you got the Yo Gotti song, and then when Elijah
Is he freezing up on you
song
all?
played, yeah, my song plays in the background.
Marco, okay, you froze up on the answer, so if you could just tell us the two scenes again.
Okay, so I was saying the skating ring scene when it first starts is Yo Gotti song,
right.
And then when Elijah and his girlfriend are talking, my song comes on like in the background. And then my other song is 100, and that's at the end credit. So when he's in the class answering the questions, and that song that comes on is my song.
Okay, excellent. Congratulations. And real quick, for
Thank
those, one of the main reasons why we're having the screening is because we are, as a creative liaison between On Location Memphis and the Memphis Music Bank, is inspiring organic relationships between filmmakers and music producers. So what advice can you give music producers and publishers and composers to be ready for creative content?
For one, it's all about, it's the same with the music industry. It's all about relationships, building those relationships, try to tap in with people, see how you can help somebody before you offer to get helped. And so that's pretty much how you can get in the door. You say, how can I help you with your projects? What you got, just inquire what people got working on, what they're working on. And people are usually very open to that kind of conversation, whether you are hitting them up on email or even, DMs on. I wouldn't suggest DMs unless you really know how to talk, but
right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's, again, at the same time, it's all about relationships. Because if you
did speak about your relationship with Princeton on Instagram. So who was the music supervisor?
The music supervisor is Kier Lehman, and he does everything from Insecure. He did Into the Spider-Verse. He did Queen and Slim. Now he got this movie. So he's like the go-to guy when it comes to placements for hip hop and urban stuff in TV and film. So yeah, he's the go-to dude.
Well, Marco, I have one big last question for you. When it comes to getting music placed, let's discuss the legalities of it. And oftentimes Memphis is a music city. We're creating content all the time, but sometimes we're not ready on the legal side to get things into the marketplace. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So first and foremost, like if you look at the credits, when the credits roll, your boy is independent. It ain't no Universal, it ain't no Epic, it ain't no, no shots at the folks, whatever. But I'm an independent artist. So first and foremost, the people had to come through me to ask for permission to use my music. And so you just really gotta have your people in place. because I really don't work with a lot of writers. So it's me. I write the song to the beats that the producers make. So it's two people for the most part. And so if you have good relationships with your people, they already know to be expecting a conversation because that person owns the other half of that song. I can't just agree to say, okay, we're going to do this movie because it could have been a movie about something completely different that artist doesn't agree with. And so that person has to agree with the song. And so that's how we did it. So me and my people super tight. They already knew what was going on. And so once the contract came, everything just split down the middle, 50-50. And it's just simple like that.
Well, man, you've given us some jewels and some gems. And if you have any questions, okay, one question was about the music supervisor. Also, a shout out to OLM board member in the house, Laquita Stokes. Anybody else in the house, let me know.
Hey.
Okay,
we got a couple of raised hands too.
Okay, we got raised hands. Okay, can you open that up for them, Angela?
All right, we got Miss Margaret Loach. I'll let her talk.
Margaret Deloche.
Margaret Deloach.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Yes, thank you. I enjoyed the movie. It was really, really great. The characters, the plot. I think it was a balance on, comic relief, even though it was like serious moments. And so I think that's very crucial in the time that we're living in to, still have serious moments. And the music, fit very well with all the scenes. I did have a question about when you all were, I guess, you looked for places to have the scenes at. Did y'all have any like problems with getting certain places, or was it kind of easy, or did y'all kind of have to go back and forth with it, or what was that case?
Okay, Preston, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I answer from a locations perspective. I was handling a lot of the house. So, when we have the table scenes and the dinner, and when she was sick, or when they had the funeral, the repast, I was in the department of figuring out like where we could find a house. So like what I would do, I would go up to people's houses and like literally knock on the door and tell them different situations. So we didn't get much. I mean, I would say like, to be honest and transparent, as an African-American guy, like in the South, I didn't get much pushback, but it was validated by being Netflix and a movie, So when I told people it was a Netflix movie shooting here, and if anybody knows like that goes about it, they pay pretty well to shoot in your house, and they'll put you up in a hotel, and they'll give you like per diem and everything. So it's almost like a job. Like you would be working, like you're getting paid to allow someone to shoot in your home. So we didn't get much pushback. And then Lynn Sittler and Sharon, they do such a great job at like helping people find locations and where they need to shoot and things like that. I even learned that being on Bluff City Law. But so yeah, we didn't have much pushback in regards to doing that. Like it was a great experience. Yeah, it was great.
One of the ones was Benny Nelson. Didn't you all shoot in her home? One of the scenes. Benny Nelson
Really?
in the West.
For real, I didn't. What was it with?
The Memphis
with
Black Hearts
Uncorked?
Alliance. I think it was one of them was her home.
Really? Oh, that's amazing. If we did, I did not know. But
she was in one of the scenes, and I was like, "That's Benny's
she
house."
was. That's amazing. I did not know if we did. That's amazing, though. I didn't know if we did shoot there. That's humbling.
All right.
She started the Memphis Black Hearts Alliance, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Okay, with Lynn Sidler, has her hand raised. All right.
Yeah, Lynn Sidler. Oh, Lynn.
Lynn. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Hallelujah. I'm not used to this. But my chairman, Gail Carson, I think she had to go because of the MLGW crisis. This storm that came through, I think it lost like almost 4,000 homes power. But listen, wow. I just loved Uncorked. I thought it was incredible. And some of you may know that we plan to give a cast and crew screening on the 19th, and then the Friday before, we just thought, oh, this would be so irresponsible with this virus if we did this. And I called I called the producers and they said, oh no, we understand. But I'm so thrilled. I love On Location Memphis, and I love Angela Green and Christy, and I'm just so thrilled that you all are hosting this along with my favorite Princeton.
Yes.
He doesn't like me to call him.
Oh, thank you,
And
Lynn.
hats off to Marco, because I can't tell you how many years I have had people come up to me and say, how can we get our music? How can we get our music in a film? And I've even, had meetings with the music people and the producers, and it's always, some excuse about the music supervisor being in LA and having to do it at a certain studio in LA. And gosh, we need to talk, Marco, because you
Yes.
really opened some doors there, and we need to find out how.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do with the Memphis Music Bank is
Yeah,
build those
absolutely.
relationships, because that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You want to take a moment to talk about the Memphis Music Bank in relationship to music placement before we bring Jason in?
Oh, you mean that it
Yes.
was through the Memphis Music Bank?
No, not this opportunity. Not this opportunity, but we're definitely working on it. So the Memphis Music Bank is a music licensing house for TV, film, and visual media. We represent artists and their music in the bank, and we promote it to independent filmmakers, visual creatives. And you can go to our website, which is memphismusicbank.com. You can browse the music, you can purchase licenses off the website, and have anything larger than the budget of $250,000, or if you need scoring, we'll definitely work with you. We have producers who can create custom content for your project. So our motto is that we have quality content that is legally sound and reasonably priced. And so that's
I know that we used some of music from the Music Bank twice for film commission promos, and hasn't it been used for scoring a film, a feature film?
Yes, actually one of our producers did quite a bit of the scoring of the film Coming to Africa. And that film was filmed here in Memphis as well as in Ghana. And we were scheduled to screen that film here on the 28th of May, but COVID-19 got us a little bit. So we are postponing that. So we're looking at a date later in the year to bring that to Memphis.
Well, congratulations. I know the state legislature and the artistic community is behind you.
And we appreciate that. Yes, the governor did get behind us, and we're looking to just get bigger and bigger and get the word out that much further, and building those relationships between here in California, New York. That's what we're trying to do. Marco, he's shown you that's how it has to be done. But for those of us, or those of you who can't make those connections, we're going to try to be that bridge any way that we can.
Well, thank you for all you're doing.
Excellent.
All righty then. We're about to bring on Mr. Jason. Thank you, Lynn Sittler.
Thank you, Ms. Lynn.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
And
Lynn, for
Marco, we're going to
everything
have
that
to
you do.
talk. Oh, thank
Absolutely,
you.
yeah.
And Marco, we're going to have to talk.
Absolutely, I'm down. I'm always for mentorship and helping artists do what they need to do.
Well, thank you very much.
And now that we see we can go virtual, he can still be anywhere in the world and still, school us down here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly.
It's so inspiring to hear about his journey. And I'm sorry, how about the locations manager, Miss Nikki Newberger, is on the line, and she's incredible.
Oh.
And she did locations for the Uncorked the movie. And she said Benny West was a part of the project. She was an extra, but we did not use her house.
Okay.
So she's a locations manager. So she did know. She knows about all the locations. But
it was a
give
big,
it up. Like,
yay! Yeah, but it was a really big house. It was a very nice house.
Yeah.
Really nice house.
Yeah, and Nikki Newberger did her amazing work on this project, and she was the one that actually brought me on to work in the locations department. And I was so excited, yeah, so excited. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Participant tonight?
Yes, she's on. She's in with us now.
If
Yep.
she doesn't
Nikki
mind,
Newberger.
after we talk to Jason, we would love for her to chime in.
Yeah.
Okay, if she
has so much experience.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, we can get her queued up. But Jason Farmer, Black Lens Production, you can unmute your mic. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good evening.
So let's talk about your experience. First of all, without having to do the full trajectory, just your entry into the space and what your connection has been to particularly this project.
Just really just trying to help move the needle to move projects back to Memphis. As Marco talked about, Memphis has a rich music legacy, and we're working hard really to tie those independent music artists back into the film and TV production that we're trying to attract to Memphis. Love that sweatshirt, Marco.
I know, right? Where do you get that? What is that? Black Genius.
I have one.
Indeed.
Yes, I have one.
Yeah.
What other comments?
Yeah, I have one hanging in the closet.
Excellent, excellent. What are some other things that you can see is important when it comes to getting this type of quality work placed here in the marketplace? Jason?
We're starting to get a lot of attention from the general marketplace, who just recently, this project was completed. We just completed a project in December with BET. That was a BET-led project. We have some additional things that we're pitching to Netflix. So we're looking to do some additional things with Netflix as well. So I think the attention is starting to come back to Memphis in terms of the level of talent that we have here. And also one of the comments from the BET team when they were here was that they love the spirit in Memphis of just that can-do spirit of getting things done. We had multiple things going on. Bluff City Law was still filming. Curves was filming. And we had a few independent videos that were going on at once. So we're starting to get that recognition that we are a viable market. And we're also, in a larger picture, we're a very affordable market as compared to some of the other markets. And I think that's helping to drive the interest back into Memphis.
Now, one of the things I want to say before I think Nikki is going to come on. Is that correct? Somebody give me a thumbs up. One of the things is that Memphis has been strategically, for multiple reasons, utilized as a backdrop for a lot of projects. But what would be your advice, and you all can chime in on this, to help create industry and not just one-off projects?
We've got to continue to build out the infrastructure, and there's definitely some synergy around that. There are a number of things going on that will increase the capacity so that we can sustain projects here for longer periods of time.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. Is Nikki ready to come on at this time? And I see Angela's asking about Gail Jones.
Nikki she's on my phone now, but she's downloading the Zoom app. We're about to get her on in about like a minute and a half.
Okay, so we'll wait for her to get into the house then, for her to get into the Zoom. So is Gail Jones Carson available?
I'm checking now.
She's still technically, I think, a participant. Yes, she has her hand up.
Excellent, excellent.
Hi. Okay, she's coming on.
I'm bringing her on in.
Gail Jones Carson. Oh my goodness.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
I can hear you. Okay,
Okay,
first,
just make sure you don't put it on video, okay?
No, ma'am, you're not on video.
I'm looking a hot mess right now.
honey, okay. Well, first of all, thank you so very much. For those who may not know who you are, if you could just give them a quick, in relationship to the film community, because you are definitely a veteran in this space in so many different layers. But kind of just talk about your film component and how you were instrumental in even getting this project into the city.
Well, actually, I'm the chairman of the board, and I work with Lynn and I work with Sharon a great deal, and we do all that we can to support all kinds of film and movies coming to Memphis. So, it's just a pleasure to, to be in the role that I'm in. I've been involved with the Film Commission, oh my God, since at least 2000, back to 2000.
Ooh, 20 years. Wow, Gail.
Yeah.
Wow, 20 years.
Yeah, so I've been involved a very long time. I love this board. I love working with, bringing this industry to Memphis. There's a great deal of economic development involved with job creation and promoting the city of Memphis. So it's a joy of mine.
So what was your relationship to this particular project with Netflix?
Well, any movie that's shot here in Memphis, I feel closer to. Like I said, it's economic development, it's bringing jobs to Memphis, it's promoting the city. And it was just really a good story. The storyline was really good. And so, so whatever I can do to help and promote and get work done here, I'm always there.
Now, for those who may be, not industry fluent, I'll say it like that. What does that mean in terms of the region and the economic, because you brought up the economic impact. Can you discuss from?
Yeah, the economic development piece is, okay, that's allowing people to not just get actor jobs here, but, folks who work on the movies. It also brings money to the restaurants, to the hotels, to the stores here. So it brings a lot of money into Memphis. So, and it's really good when we can get movies here, because a lot of times we have to compete with places like Atlanta, New Orleans, and other places. And so we work really, really hard. Lynn is always up and down the highway to Nashville trying to make sure we get the incentives that we need to promote, getting movies here and film here. So, and it's just great. It's a great boost for our city as we promote Memphis throughout this country and throughout the world, actually. So people can come here to our great city.
Well, I will say that Gail, we do have Lynn and also Nikki, who was location manager for this project. So you three are on. Nikki, can you chime in? But Gail, don't leave. Lynn, stay on as well. Can you kind of give us some backstory, Nikki, on who you are, your relationship to this particular project? Nikki? Okay. It looks like her mic is on, but so I'll go back to Gail Jones-Carson and Lynn Sittler. So when it comes to, courting projects.
I think Nikki, I'm sorry. I think Nikki is trying to get on. She's figuring out the technology. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But if y'all can hear her on Minds, I can put her up to, yeah. So Nikki, they can hear you on Minds, so you can talk about it.
Okay,
so Nikki.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm so excited. You're all having such a great discussion. I'm sorry I'm having technical difficulties on my side.
No problem.
No problem.
Prince,
so go Memphis.
She said go Memphis.
We can hear her perfectly clear. So Christy, go ahead and ask that question again.
Okay, so what I wanted to do, Nikki, is to have you, Gail Jones-Carson, and Lynn Sittler just really discuss, first of all, the relationship of getting Netflix to do this amazing project here and how that impacts our overall industry here.
Yeah.
In your role specifically.
Well, I work closely with Lynn and Sharon with the recruitment process. I am one of the first people to be contacted generally when there's scouting to be done. And so, as a location manager and a scout, I try to understand what's in the script and what they're looking for. This was a unique situation because I knew they were going to consider Nashville and possibly other cities from the beginning. So it was important to me to give as much as I could, give them reasons to come to Memphis. For me, it was a no-brainer that this was the place to be. And so I did a lot of preliminary scouting before they arrived to prepare to show them places that were in the script as described by the script. When they came in August of 2018, I knew they were going to be going to Nashville after they came to Memphis, so I just did my best to show them that it was a no-brainer and that they were not going to find soul anywhere else but Memphis.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
can you chime in on that, Lynn and Gail?
Yes, I would be happy to. Yes, Nikki is an incredible ambassador for the city when it comes to filming. And she also, she and Veronica Nickel, is Veronica on, the producer? I had invited her to join us. Veronica, are you there? Well, anyway, she and Veronica, they were great because they were giving us tips as to what we could do and what we could say in order to recruit it away from Nashville. And also our state film commissioner, Bob Raines, from the get-go. And, you know, there's not a whole lot of money to incentivize projects. And unfortunately, the bigger budgeted projects like this one, even though it wasn't a huge budget, it was significant. They have to have incentives, no matter how much they like us or like Memphis, they have to have incentives. And Bob, I have to give him the credit. On this one, he was right on it. And he was, you know, working very hard to incentivize it. And so that, of course, played a key factor in why it came here. But of course, the locations, it could have gone to Nashville, but and gotten incentives, but it came to Memphis, and it had a lot to do with the people that they met. And I think that our citizens were just so, you can, you know, like the interview that I saw, I think that John Bifus did. It was just wonderful the way that so many people they interacted with, so many citizens to make it an authentic film. Once they made their decision to come here, it was so authentic, so very authentic. They had Jason Farmer, they had Princeton, they had, and Nikki was like, you know, on it practically 24 hours a day. I mean, you know, it was really wonderful.
Nikki did amazing.
When it comes to the political posturing, Gail, what are some of the key things as independent filmmakers that we need to be considering as we are moving in this space?
Well, one of the things, you have to really have good relationships with the elected officials in the state legislature, because they're the ones who can push and fight for you to get incentives that are needed to attract movies here, film here. And so I do a lot of behind the scenes working with the elected officials on the state, in the state house and the Senate. And you also have to be able to go work across the lines. It's not a Democratic or Republican thing. It's a Memphis thing. It's a money thing. And, you know, and working with the state administration, the state, you know, film commit, the state entertainment commission. So it's a lot of people, a lot of organizations that you really have to work together to work with to make this work. And that is how we have been successful. It's just, you know, being having supportive elected officials to work with us. And they get we need to give them a lot of credit, because they're the ones who push through getting the monies that we need. They work with the administration to get what we need.
Well, that's very important. I hope all the filmmakers and those who are in this creative space hear that for movies like this to happen, it does go beyond us writing a script and being amazing performers. It gets into the business of movie making. So I really appreciate you, Gail Jones Carson and Lynn Sittler and Nikki, for bringing that element into this conversation. Nikki, one last time, I just want to ask her this, Princeton, because Memphis was very well represented, going back to what your point was, is that to sell this story to be made in Memphis, you all really did showcase the city of Memphis, the sound of Memphis, the people of Memphis. How is that decision made in the boardroom?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, they can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, I'm not that decision maker. I'm really a guide, and I'm from Memphis, and I've been doing this for a really long time, and I do my best to show them my city from as many angles as possible. To be perfectly honest, I think there's something really magic about Memphis. I call it the magic of Memphis. Memphis is it. I mean, it just is. And so it unfolds naturally. And so, you know, I do my best to visualize what they're looking for. I get to know them, and we talk and we're collaborating. But ultimately, I'm giving them a tour and showing them. I show them pictures first before they come, and I get feedback. And when they're here, we're driving around together, we're having conversations, and it's just a very organic, natural process that occurs every time for every project. And I just believe that Memphis has everything you need. I mean, we have everything, any look you want, we can make it happen here, and it can be within 10 or 15 minutes. So it's really very practical. It's very practical to be able to move around the city, you know, without getting in major traffic, without having a lot of complicated parking issues. I mean, I do sometimes wish we had more big parking lots for our big trucks, but you know, when it comes to seeing the city and seeing what it has to offer, logistically, it's a very manageable place. Creatively, we have so much to offer, but our people emerge, and so a lot of magic things happen along the way that I can't even take any credit for, honestly. People are wonderful here, they're generous, and we have an authenticity that is, you know, you can't really analyze it because it's just what it is.
That's true.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. As a matter of fact, Ronald Hurd II, he spoke to that. He said the city of Memphis was the real star of the movie Mine, and that's M-A-N-E. Mine. What you said, Mine. Yeah. And I truly agree with you on that too, because we had everything from flight to our, you know, just every aspect of Memphis.
Donuts. Everything.
Donuts,
everything.
Yes. Then, of course, to have that paired, speaking in the wine terminology, with Paris was beautiful. Just that as a storyteller was very was beautiful to me, because it's like we made Memphis an international city in this storyline. It made it pair very well.
And pave is French, if y'all didn't know that.
Hey.
Come on now, tell us, honey. Tell us. Now, very quickly, we do want to make sure we allow some of our other audience members to have questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand or put it in the chat. We do see a lot of people really spoke highly about the movie, even as the movie was screening. I really appreciate that. We had over like 30 people who was just hanging out with us. So any questions or comments, please raise your hand at this time.
I know I see Sherry Neely here, and I know she did some of the casting. And I'm assuming this is a union project, correct?
Okay, so Sherry, could you raise your hand so we can bring you on, please?
Yes, because I think we should talk, you know, the importance of having union as opposed to non-union projects and how that impacts the people who are working on those projects in the city.
Okay, who wants to handle that question? Jason, Gail, Lynn?
I would. I would. I have, you know, officially, I take no stance as to union or non-union. And Tennessee is a right-to-work state, which means that people can, production can come here and they can work either union or non-union. But I've been so impressed with the way that IATSE protects the workers and makes sure that they have positive working environment and decent wages and health benefits. And what's impressed me even more is the fact that the non-union members on a union production receive the same benefits. I know a fellow who was not in the union, and so do you, Nikki, who didn't join the whole time he was on Bluff City Law, but when it was over, or maybe it was Sun Records, but when it was over, he had surgery that he had been putting off forever. And this is the kind of thing that union membership brings with it. And I know there are people against unions, but I think you need to have an open mind. And if you're a crew person, and consider both. Of course, I don't believe, now I'm not an expert on the union laws, but I don't believe you're penalized if you work a non-union production as a crew member. But I know that the unions have provided beautiful benefits for the people that work on union productions. And when a union production, all the bigger budgeted films that come to Memphis are union, quite frankly.
That's correct.
And I think too, if it's a union production, then they automatically pay everyone according to that scale, regardless of whether you're in the union or not.
That is
right.
Correct.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Now, Sherry Neely, if you would at this time, yeah, you're All right now, look at her.
Oh,
Sorry,
She said,
Oh,
look,
gosh.
don't let me come in right. Okay, so Sherry, you're involved, first of all, who you are in regards to the space, your relationship with this project. Okay.
Yeah, so I actually was not the actual casting director for
No,
this.
no, no. What is your role? Who is Sherry Neely? And then in your relationship to the project.
Okay, my name is Sherry Neely, of course. I am the CEO of the Neely Agency. It's a public relations, marketing, advertising, and casting firm based in Memphis, Tennessee. And so, yeah, that's what we do.
and she's our publicist.
Yes.
Well, the Memphis Music Bank, that's the
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
we're on location, Memphis Music Bank. Yes.
Okay,
And
in your relationship to Netflix Uncorked.
so the relationship to Netflix Uncorked was Christopher Gray is a friend of mine with Christopher Gray Casting. And he asked me to come out because, of course, you know, as you could see from in the film, there were a lot of scenes that required a lot of extras, a whole lot of extras. So we had to, he needed as much help as possible as it relates to casting with people who have that experience in casting. And so he just called me up one day and asked me to come and help him whenever I had some free time to assist with casting and just get the folks in and out.
And for those who don't know, Christopher Gray has been I guess we can say a background actor in casting company for decades, but he's originally from Memphis. He's originally from Memphis, just like Nikki.
Yeah.
So once again, Memphis is global and we're constantly trying to bring work back to Memphis. So wherever you are in the world, we still be repping the 901. Now, I have to always say this. I'm DC born, Tipton County raised in Millington High School, but I'm Memphis. I'm Memphis AF, right? look at Jason. You gonna let me be Memphis right now. But definitely, this has been an amazing experience. I don't know if we have any other questions from the audience. Any other comments? We don't want to belabor this evening, but I definitely wanted to say, roll call, Camille, Sherry Walker, Yvonne Kelly. Is that Kenethia Pope? Oh yeah, Anwar. She even shouted out Anwar Jameson. We talked about his movie earlier. It was scored by a publisher from the Memphis Music Bank. Nicole Jackson. Is that Marielle Green Taylor?
That's
Taylor
my mommy.
Oh,
Mariel Green.
hey, Mama.
Angela Rogers and Sherry Walker. Is that everybody? I wanted to make sure I showed love. I think that's a couple of people I can't see, but thank you all so very much. Any other comments? We're going to give everybody a chance to count. Okay, Sherry, you're going to do a wrap up. They're going to give Lynn and Gail. Then we'll hit Jason, Marco, and then Princeton, and then it's going to be to Angela. So Sherry, your final wrap up, and then Ronald, I'll make your note.
Sandra Hill. Did you shout her out? Sandra Hill.
Okay.
I know she probably is not on here, but she's been showing a lot of love.
Okay, well, we definitely want to show her love as well. So any last
So
words?
we just want to make sure to make sure everybody knows to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, On Location Memphis, OLM, and just to be sure to also go to our website to onlocationmemphis.org and Memphis Music Bank, BANQ.org, right, Angela?
That's correct, but go to onlocationmemphis.org starting April 1st. We're under maintenance, so we have a little surprise coming.
Yes,
All
absolutely.
right.
And that's it.
All right, so Gail Jones-Carson and Lynn Sittler, you all final words?
Yeah, I just want to say the movie was great. And I want to thank each of you all for taking time to do this for us and bring this to us, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. Okay, so who else? Lynn Sittler.
I want to thank you all too, and I'm just so pleased with being a part of the group tonight, and I think y'all have done a great job. And hopefully, after the coronavirus goes away, we're going to have a lot of money in our state film fund. And both of our mayors couldn't support film anymore, and we just have to get that money in the state film fund, and we'll have lots and lots of projects. And I know for a fact that the state is very proud of this film, as are we.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Jason Farmer, if you would, step up to the microphone.
Hey, just thank you to everyone. And as always, look forward to bringing more projects into Memphis and helping, I guess, reclaim our place in the film TV hierarchy. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, Marco Pave, which is French. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, man, it was an amazing film. Princeton, shout out to you for playing such a vital part and bringing us into that family. At that table, we all felt a part of that in that scene for sure. Thank you all for everything that you've done to make sure that we got this film. Make sure that they did not film another Memphis-based show in Nashville or Memphis-based movie in Nashville. Like that's very vital. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more. And like Jason saying, we definitely, this will help us bring more to the city because Memphis is hot right now. On the music tip, everybody's sampling Memphis. Everybody's using Memphis sound, and on the film tip, people are looking towards Memphis to do stuff. So we got it. We just got to stay on top of it.
Indeed. Thank you, Marco. All right, Princeton James.
First, I want to say thank y'all so much for having me on this. It was an amazing experience to be on Uncorked and to be able to work with Princess Penny. During the process, I was telling some of my cast tonight, I received a text message from Princess, and it was a pretty inspiring thing that I started sweating. I had to turn the arrow in here, but hopefully that we for real. So it was just it was inspiring to work on a project where they were promoting Black excellence and showing the city in such a light, and it looks like it will be some other stuff that will be happening here to celebrate the film, even after all of this is over. And I'm just so thankful for Lynn and Sharon for doing their thing. I'm thankful for Gail being a part of that, Sherry for doing her thing. She's a beast at what she does. Jason for doing his thing with locations. Christy for doing your thing. Marco for setting the standard and the pace for other artists that don't know what they, don't know how to put their music. And your music sounded amazing, and it just fit with those scenes.
Yes.
Bro, just thank you for doing that. I was grateful to be at that table and not only set the table for me, but to show up for the people that think that they don't have a shot if they live in Memphis to opportunities like this. And I knew I didn't sit at the table just not only for myself. And I'm thankful for Angela for creating platforms like this to be able to showcase artists like myself and other people that will be on the platform as well. So I'm grateful to continue to push forward in this. We have some other stuff coming up, and please, 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 if you do nothing else, anybody listening, continue to support Memphis Music Bank and operate in your gift, because people will suffer if you don't operate in your gift. That's all.
Right. Thank you so much, Princeton James. I do see 2 comments. I just want to make sure I acknowledge them. First of all, applaud.
Yes.
Okay, and just 2 comments. I do want to say, Ronald, I saw your amazing comment. Truly, it was very reminiscent of old school. He even brought up Oscar-winning Shaft. Indeed, first Black cast movie here called Hallelujah in the 1920s. Oh, he went historic on us. So y'all be sure to check out that amazing dissertation. Also, Angela Rogers, this has really been a great event, so timely for where I am personally. Great movie. I'm very glad to have been part of this evening. Do you always have to have an extension portfolio to be considered a viable option, or is it all about who you know? I think it's both. As long as I've been in the entertainment industry, it is a combination. It's relationship, consistent.
Well, picking up on what Christy was saying, it's all about relationships and all about having quality content. So if you have quality content and it's what they actually need at that time for that project, then yes, you have an opportunity, you have a shot to be a part of it. So that's why we're here at On Location Memphis. The Memphis Music Bank is helping bridge that gap, help create some of those relationships, open some of those doors for you all to walk through, and hopefully we'll continue to be able to do that as we move along. So I know Christy is frozen up, so I'm just going to pick up the ball because we want to just let you go. It's going on 11 o'clock, so we're going to keep you up all night. We do have a poll that I'm going to put out, so if you can just do the poll, just give us some feedback on tonight's event. This was the very first time that we've ever used Zoom for a live event, so we're learning. We're hoping to get better as we do these more and more. And I think our host is back.
Yes!
So,
I was like, where did I go?
but I was just letting them know that we're gonna send out the poll, but just everyone stay safe, and hopefully, after the 7th of April, we'll be getting close back to normal.
All right, and safer at home.
Safer at home.
Safer at home. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you again.
Good night. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Nikki, thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.